Welcome to the Photoshop online course. We're going to start out not by starting with Photoshop, but we're going to look at three distinctive components: Photoshop, Bridge, and Camera Raw. And we're going to take a look at the workspace in all three of those. Bridge helps you to manage your stacks of images, share contact sheets, print and web photo galleries. Camera Raw is a non-destructive, streamlined, structured workflow with an easy-to-use interface. And so Camera Raw is opened within Adobe Bridge and Photoshop is open separately. We're going to take a look at all three of these. What I have open on my desktop at the moment is Adobe Bridge, just to save a little bit of time. What you see across the very top is the application menu or application bar. Now these are tools that allow you to go to a recent file or recent folder, go back to Photoshop, import your photos from your camera, etc., and so on. Over to the right here is your workspace area. Now there's also the down arrow, which includes a set of workspaces. Essentials, film strip, metadata. We'll look at these in just a moment because there's another way to get to those. We have our search and find field on the right. We can sort our photos by, that's the photos in the content area, by file name, type, date created, etc. We can rate our photos by stars. This area off to the left here is called the path bar. And this is the path that you would go to get to this particular folder, which contains all of these photos. Now, under the window menu, you'll also see workspace, which is everything I just showed you under the down arrow. And below that are all of the panels, and it lists the folders, favorite, metadata, keywords, filter panel, preview panel. And that's what these areas are here. In the tabs, favorites, folders, and then down below, filter, with of course all of the choices on how to selectively choose just a few pictures out of all of these folders that you happen to have. There's a tab called Collections, a tab called Export, and over to the right you'll see the preview area, which is just a little bit larger thumbnail than what you see in the content area. And then down below is metadata and keywords. Now Adobe allows you to obviously revise your workspace, and if I click and drag this vertical bar, I can make the preview area larger, and I can customize it to whatever seems to make sense to me. Move things around. But instead of taking a whole lot of time to customize your workspace, what I want to do is show you Adobe's already defined workspaces that actually give you a lot of choices. I click on this double dotted bar and stretch to the left, and this brings up the full list of workspaces. Currently we're viewing the Essentials workspace, although I messed it up, so by clicking on this arrow I can choose Reset Workspace, and that changes the panels back to their original form. So I'm viewing the thumbnails, all the other panels I just mentioned. If I go to the film strip mode, notice the film strip is across the bottom, and I can click on a picture and I can move through these pictures by pressing my right arrow or the left arrow. If I choose the metadata works, now if you're a photographer and you take thousands of pictures a week, metadata is something that you're going to really want to focus on, and we will cover that shortly. In terms of output, the output workspace has a list of all of the folders that I have that contain photos, the film strip like area in the center, and then on the right how to output all of these photos that I choose. We can output them in PDF, we can output them as a web gallery, and if I look under the templates, we can choose a greeting card, contact sheets, etc. And that is the output workspace. Keywords. Off to the left, you'll notice that there are groups and subgroups. So under events, birthday, graduation. Now these are groups that you can change and you can add your own new. There's the preview workspace and also a light table. Now the light table is kind of like a contact sheet, shows you every single picture that's in this particular folder. Now I can get to this same type of view actually by clicking on the Essentials workspace and pressing my Tab key on the keyboard. This looks exactly like the light table workspace. So what I can do then is close the workspace bar and close up the light table, because I can get to that here just as long as I remember to press my Tab key and turn the panels on the sides back on. Now if I really only want to use the preview and the essentials, I can click on the preview. Notice the black bar as I drag to the left, and that rearranges your workspace. And I can make this then just a little bit smaller to take up less space. So now what I want to do is take a look at some of my photos here. Notice that some of them need to be rotated. And if I click on a photo and I hold down the Command key, I can click on the either left bracket, right bracket, some call it open bracket, close bracket. It's those two bracket keys right next to the P. And if you see the little arms, the direction of the arms on the bracket is the direction that the rotate is going to go. So I'm going to click on the left bracket, and that rotates my picture counterclockwise. The intent here is that I want to select some of these best photos and create a collection. This is a spec house that a builder put together. I designed the kitchen cabinets, bathroom cabinets, all the cabinets actually, and had my installer install them. So the kitchen is a pretty nice part of the house. So I have my best of the best pictures highlighted here. I'm going to go up to the View menu and choose Review Mode. Review mode is like a carousel, like the old-time slide carousels. I use the arrows on my keyboard to take me through these pictures. Anyone that I don't dislike, like these two are the same. I couldn't decide which one was the nicest. Left arrow to go back, right arrow to go forward. I like this one the best, so I'm going to remove this one from my list, and I just hit the down arrow, and that puts it away, takes it out of the group. Shows the lighted finished interior cabinets on top, tile work in the corner. That's a nice picture of the stairway, stair detail, front door, and again the kitchen area, lighted overhang. And so these are the pictures that I want to keep in my collection. There's two ways I can go from here. If I click on the X, it just takes me out of this mode with the pictures I have selected here, selected within that whole contact list. Or if I know for sure these are the ones I want, I can click on the button here, there, bottom right with the plus. If I click there, it automatically creates a new collection, and I'm going to call this Welch House. Click on Save, and that puts it into its own little collections folder. Tells me there are 20 photographs here.